In this video, I'm going to share my upgrade priorities for buildings, heroes, laboratory, and hero equipment upgrades as a new Town Hall 12. What's going on, my friends from Clash of Clans? My name is Joe, and welcome to episode 1 of the Town Hall 12 free-to-play series, day 143 since we started this village. That's just under 5 months, which is a lot faster than it used to be in this game. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's new at Town Hall 12. We do unlock the Yeti, Headhunter, Overgrowth Spell, Introduction to Siege Machines, Wall Wrecker, Battle Blimp, Stone Slammer, and also the introduction to Weaponized Town Halls. We do have some new buildings in the shop. Getting into our army section, we have Workshop, we have 2 new defensive additions in the Hidden Tesla and Inferno Tower, and we also have a section of new traps. We're going to go ahead and start by building those. By the way, if you took a break from Clash of Clans and have recently returned, be aware that there has been a major overhaul on the trophy system in the game, and I'll make sure that I link a video down in the description below that explains all that. Alright, so we used that builder to start building the new Hidden Tesla, and we'll also use that same building to construct the Inferno Tower as well as the Workshop. That one builder for me is going to be busy upgrading all of the new buildings to the equivalent levels seen on this village so far, which are maxed out for Town Hall 11. All right, so listen, we're taking you to this priority base, which will be linked down in the description below for you. All of the buildings up top where the town hall is located, to include the traps, are not upgradable for this level if they were maxed out at Town Hall 11. So let's go ahead and get started with putting the other builders down and prioritizing our upgrades, starting with this section of buildings that has the laboratory, hero hall, as well as the blacksmith. So our first upgrade is always going to be the laboratory, but first we're going to jump in there and put something down for upgrade because I did not max out everything at Town Hall 11. We got 1 day on the minion to level 5, and then we're going to back out of that and upgrade this building for 3.8 million elixir 4-day upgrade. So we're going to keep that building actively upgrading while the building is upgrading itself. Next, we're going to upgrade our hero hall because inside of the hero hall, we did max out the Grand Warden, the Minion Prince, and the Archer Queen. We're going to use the 5th builder to start upgrading this king because we're in between the ranked mode battles. So we're going to let that go for 3 days, and we're also going to upgrade the building for 5.5 million elixir. That way we can start upgrading the other heroes like the Grand Warden and the Archer Queen, which we'll get into here in a moment. The next upgrade after that is going to be the blacksmith, and unfortunately I need to go out and collect some more resources because I used it on those previous 2 buildings, but we're going to need 5 million elixir to upgrade the blacksmith, which will unlock the healer puppet as well as the noble iron, which isn't really used as much for the minion prince, at least from my experience. However, by upgrading this building, we are also able to upgrade the other abilities that we've already been using, i.e. the earthquake boots should go to level 15, the giant arrow should go to level 15, as well as the minion prince abilities and the Grand Warden's abilities. And that's going to be our priorities, which I'll talk about a little bit later on in the video. After we've finished the upgrade on the laboratory, we're going to transition the builder from it as well as the blacksmith into upgrading all 4 of our army camps. By upgrading the army camps, you're going to go from 260 housing space up to 280 housing space, which means that you can bring a few more troops into battle, which ultimately strengthens your army for being a Town Hall 11 now into a Town Hall 12 army. Super important. After that, we're going to be upgrading the clan castle, 5 million elixir to upgrade that, 4-day upgrade, and that's also going to open up our capacity by 5 housing and allow us to bring a little bit more troops in on both offense and defense, which is going to be really important in the new ranked battles system. Now, keep in mind that once the hero hall completes its upgrade, we're going to be shifting that builder inside the building to start working on upgrading our Grand Warden. Now at Town Hall 12, the Barbarian King and Archer Queen go up to level 65, which is a little bit of a larger jump than previous levels. The Grand Warden also goes up 20 levels to level 40, so that's a little bit extensive and we need to start working on upgrading this. Now, some of you might feel that it would be just beneficial to use a hero potion and keep your heroes available, but I'm thinking about about the long game, not necessarily just being at Town Hall 12, but the thought process of moving on to Town Hall 13, 14, 15. I mean, there's a lot of levels in this game now, and these heroes levels are just as important as upgrading the hero abilities to make them fully strengthened in getting those 3 stars later on in the game. So I will be focusing on upgrading the heroes, even though it's really not that much fun. Once this section of buildings has completed, we're going to move into upgrading the final offensive buildings in the Dark Barracks. By upgrading this building, we'll unlock the Headhunter, very important troop in Clash of Clans, as well as upgrading the barracks to unlock the Yeti. Kind of important at Town Hall 12, Town Hall 13, and a little bit at Town Hall 14. And then we're going to upgrade the Dark Spell Factory to unlock the Overgrowth. Now, I'm not entirely sure how important this spell is down in the lower levels, but I have seen it used quite a bit up at Town Hall 15, 16, and 17. So it's nice to go ahead and unlock that and upgrade it in the laboratory. Now, during Clan War Leagues week, we will not be upgrading heroes. We'll shift those builders into upgrading defenses. So that's where we're going to start upgrading things like the Eagle Artillery, the Inferno Towers, moving over into X-bows, air defenses, air sweepers, and then we'll just kind of follow these 2 sections or 2 rows of buildings like your traps, Wizard Towers, Hidden Teslas, Archer Towers, then the cannons, mortars, and bomb towers last, because they don't really pose the biggest threat on the base. We're going to start with the strongest defenses and work our way back. And then also you're going to notice that we have our storages near the end of the upgrade priorities. And granted, we do increase our storage by upgrading these buildings, but they're not really necessary. I went through a lot of the prices of the current buildings that need to be upgraded to include heroes, and we don't even need to upgrade the elixir storage, gold storage, or dark elixir storage to do those. So that may change in the future, but as of right now, they're really not that big of a priority, and you can save them for the end, maybe for going to Town Hall 13, as well as the resource buildings themselves, the collectors. You can kind of hold off on those unless you do not play the game a lot and you do rely heavily on that passive income, in which point I would recommend that you move those buildings up in your priorities. Now, a lot of that information can be a little confusing, so I jumped over to the clash.ninja website to show you a visual representation of all those builders bouncing around for our newer players out there. This website is linked down in the description below. I've been using it for years. It's perfectly safe, and you can use it if you're a little bit more serious about Clash of Clans and want to monitor your upgrades and see the progress as you go. We're going to go into our builders tab, and you can assign all the upgrades to the builders, so you can kind of time it out perfectly with your Clan War Leagues and the clan games and stuff like that. So builder 1 was on constructing the new buildings and upgrading the new buildings. Let's jump into a 1-month view so you can see everything. Builder 2 will stay on the laboratory, then transition into the army camps, and then move into the barracks and the upgrading of the Dark Spell Factory. You'll notice that the Grand Wardens after the Clan War League section. The section in gold is Clan War Leagues, or how they mark it out. Builder 3 will upgrade the Hero Hall, then work on the Grand Warden for 2, 4, 6, 7 levels before going into Clan War Leagues, and we'll start upgrading the Eagle Artillery. Builder 4 will work on the Blacksmith, then 2 army camps, the Clan Castle upgrade, and the Dark Barracks during Clan War Leagues week, the first one. And then Builder 5 will be focused on upgrading the Barbarian King 3 levels until level 50, and then we're going to transition into upgrading the Archer Queen 2 levels, and then we're going to arrive in Clan War Leagues week and then shift into upgrading 2 of the Inferno Towers. And this pattern will continue all the way into the second month. Once Clan War Leagues is over, we'll start upgrading the Warden, King, and Queen at the same time. It is a little bit grindy, but that's something that I'm going to have to do in order to complete the levels as fast as I possibly can without spending any money. And then we'll work on Inferno Tower, X-bows, and air defenses with Builder 1, 3, and yeah, hopefully that helps, paint a clearer picture for you. Now, when choosing an army for Town Hall 12, I'm going to select something that's relatively easy to upgrade, and we're going to start out with a Mass Dragon army first. And it's going to look something like this if I can line up my Archer Queen and take out multiple air defenses. Let's go right here. She's going to fire upon the camp, and let's go ahead and launch that ability and pop off 2 air defenses. We can use 2 lightnings as well as an earthquake to destroy that one, as well as 2 lightnings and a quake to destroy that one. And this one's pretty cut and dry. We're going to drop a dragon there and there to delete those, and then we're going to just release the dragons like so, as well as the Grand Warden and the balloons. You can normally go balloons first. That's probably ideal. And then we're going to send the Stone Slammer off to the flank, basically right over there. It's going to kind of go alongside our dragons. Now, we do have Rage, even though the Warden does have the Rage Vial. And this army normally has the Barbarian King, but in this case, we're going to use the Minion Prince because the Barbarian King's down for upgrade. So we can go ahead and use his ability and use that Warden's ability, drop some lightnings, and just go ahead and speed this process up because this base was obviously very weak. Dropping the Rage there and the Freeze over there, and then we're pretty much done. We're just collecting resources. That way we can try to get that building down. The blacksmith that I passed up a few moments ago, we're going to need the elixir to knock that out. Also, keep in mind that if you do have excess gold, if you're following along with my priorities, all excess gold will go into the upgrading of walls. So we can select a few wall pieces and get rid of the gold. That way we're not having overage issues. But let's go ahead and jump into the laboratory and let me show you my priorities for Town Hall 12 to start. So we're going to start out by upgrading our dragon to level 7, the balloon to level 8. We're going to jump ahead and we're going to follow those upgrades with the lightning spell, the rage spell, and the baby dragon. Sometimes the baby dragon can go with that army as well. And those are just about, I don't know, a week and a half, 2 weeks worth of upgrades. So after those troops are maxed, we could start upgrading our siege machines, because once we get that workshop built, we can start training our own siege machines and change those out in battle. So that's something to think about. But other than that, we can start shifting into upgrading troops for a different army that we might want to use at Town Hall 12. Just something to think about. There's really no set priorities here. You don't have to follow exactly what I do. Stick to what you know and what you want to use and upgrade those troops, and then you can kind of move on to the next Town Hall level. After the laboratory, let's get into the blacksmith. So here's my advice when it comes to the blacksmith. Only upgrade abilities that you plan on using. Collection of ore in this game is still very difficult. You'll notice that we have an excessive amount of ore, 14,000 shiny, 1,289 glowy, and 94 of the starry saved up. What we're going to do is we're going to start by targeting the abilities that were relatively close to being maxed, like the Quake Boots and the Giant Arrow and the Warden abilities. Whichever heroes we plan to use the most of, we're going to focus on upgrading those abilities to max at this level, which should be level 15. And then we're going to either go back to saving, or we're going to continue to upgrade abilities like the Spiky Ball and the Action Figure ability, which we more than likely will use moving forward in the game. But other than that, we're not going to be touching any of these other abilities, because in reality, it's just a complete waste of ore unless we intend on using those abilities in the future. Another priority for Town Hall 12, if you have not done it yet, is working on unlocking the 6th builder from the builder base. Now, there is a guide linked down in the description below on all of my advice and steps on how to complete that, but I'm going to show you my progress for those of you that like to watch these videos. So we are currently working on the final step of unlocking the 6th builder. We completed the gear ups. We also knocked out the upgrading of troop to level 18, and we finished the builder base defense to level 9. We are working on the total levels of 45 for heroes, which is the grindiest task. And don't be confused by the boost that was currently active, because we are a new Town Hall 12, but we are currently upgrading our battle machine to level 16, and we are going to level 23 with that guy. So it's going to take us another month and a half probably, as well as upgrading the battle copter from level 15 to level 22. And that's going to knock out our 45 levels, and then we will finally unlock the 6th builder. You'll notice that we have 1,694 gems. I did make a video about a month or so back explaining how to get gems for free. And what I've been doing, and some of you might not agree with this, but you got to remember, we're playing free to play, meaning that we don't have the ability to buy gems. So we have to get gems from the game for free. So what I've been doing is using my Clan War League medals to purchase resource potions for 5 medals each. And normally what we'll do is we'll collect these and fill up in the town hall. We'll go over to the town hall magic items and we will sell these, not use them. We're going to sell them for gems. And then also we use our raid medals to purchase things like the wall rings. You'll notice that we are sold out, and I will sell those for gems as well. So that's how we got up to the 1,744 gems. I think we also have some over here in our achievements. Ooh, 500, I like that. We also get 50 because of the new update, and I believe there's some down here like Inferno Artilleries or Eagle Artilleries, 300 free gems there, and I believe there's one here for the Super Troop. And then there should be another one down here for Clan Capital that's going to bring us up to 2,814. Now, we also have a medal event. Pay attention to medal events because you could waste your gems on hero abilities that you don't need to buy because they might populate in these medal events. By completing these medal events, we can go in here, and I'm more than likely going to be purchasing Electro Boots. Can't use it at Town Hall 12, but we can use it at Town Hall 13. So I'm going to claim that for free and then use my gems in another place, which would be upgrading our helper hut. So we can upgrade our lab assistant to level 5 at Town Hall 12. And we can upgrade it again at to level 6. And that should be it for Town Hall 12. Let's go over to our apprentice builder. We're going to require 1,000 gems there to upgrade that, and another 1,000 gems, and we were out of gems, so we're not going to be able to upgrade it again until we save up the gems. However, we can assign these guys to the upgrades that are currently active, and that's going to save us time on the upgrades. With this being level 6, it will save us 6 hours in the laboratory on that particular upgrade, which does help speed things up quite a bit. But if you need additional information on how to spend your raid medals or your gems or your Clan War League medals, be sure to check out the link down in the description. And I believe that's pretty much it for this Town Hall 12 upgrade priority guide. If you have any advice for newer players out there, drop a comment down below, and we'll see you in the next one, boys.